So today we have a story from a YouTuber named Completionist. Many of you might have heard about him, watched this video, but recently he was found in the middle of a pretty interesting drama. And today we're going to be covering all of that. It's a charity drama and we all know how that goes. Many of the charities nowadays looks like a fraud. And because of that, many people are getting more and more discouraged to donate to new charities. Mudahar, aka some ordinary gamer, as he goes by his YouTube name, and Carl Jobs did some very extensive investigation on this matter, and they are the ones who actually came up with the allegation. So if you want full detailed approach of how they go on with their investigation, their interviews and all that, you can watch their videos. But let's take a look at what they found. First off, let's talk about the completionist. Gerard Khalil, who is more commonly known as the Completionist, made his YouTube channel focused around gaming. He makes in-depth reviews of games, and his YouTube channel is built on 100% completion of the games he played, hence the name Completionist. Unfortunately, his mother passed away due to dementia, so Gerard wanted to honor his mother and also wanted to make a difference in the world by opening up a charity for curing dementia. Now his charity did not do any research or help the patients directly. Instead, it was built to donate the money that they collect to other organizations that already have built up a system for research and helping others. He started this in 2014, where he held many events to help raise the money. In the first year itself, he raised over $30,000, which is a lot. He then held events every year to promote the charity and encourage people to donate more for the cause. And every year they would rack up more and more money from donations. News would fly out that his charity, which is the Open Hand Foundation, raised X amount of money this year and X amount of money that year. This all seemed good and people would praise the completionist for that. Everyone seems to report how much they raised, but no one thought to see where this money was going. And that's exactly what Mudahar and Carl did. Keep in mind that as Open Hand Foundation is listed as a charity, their financial reports are public. Anyone can go and see how much they raised, how much they spent to, let's say, like create an event to make the money, and how much they donated to other charities. As I have said, this charity was made so that it can donate the money it made to other charities which are battling against dementia. But there were $0 donated to anyone. If you watch Mudahar's video, he shows the report and we can clearly see that there were no donations made to any other charities. They would report the money that they raised, they would report the operational costs which were high for some reason, and there was zero donations. All the money after deducting the operational costs were just sitting there. For some reason, none of the money was being used anywhere. And year after year, it would pile up. It started in 2014, where they raised over $30,000. After deducting some operational costs, the rest of the money would sit there for the rest of the year. Same was the case for the next year, and then the next, and then the next. This would go on till last year. They had over $600,000 just sitting there doing nothing. Also, something that was interesting to note was that almost $100,000 were spent on operational costs. That's a lot of money. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt here. Let's just say it was the amount that was actually needed to run those events. So Mudahar and Carl for their video had an interview with the completionist himself. The man himself was called and they asked the questions about what was going on. What was the money doing there, sitting in the bank accounts instead of being donated to other charities? The completionist did confirm that all of what Mudahar and Carl are saying are true, that the money was sitting in the bank. He did give a very vague explanation of what the operational costs were, but that was not the main point of their discussion. He admits that they made a mistake of not donating it earlier. But what looked a little fishy to me was that the completionist was more fixated on his image being bad. He says things like, "Yeah, I know that you guys are gonna say that I made a mistake. My reputation would be on the line," and stuff like that. They asked about where the money is going and why is it sitting in an account. The reason he gave was also kind of shocking. He says there are no good organizations that he found that would utilize this money in a good way, which is very odd. Not because he could not find any organization, but because he says the name of various organizations in his charity event that he claims would be getting the money. So why would someone say that they can't find anywhere to donate when they literally say the names of the organizations in the events? He also says that if you, meaning Carl or Mudahar, can find him a good organization, he would donate the money that day itself. Most of the organizations he talked to did not do anything with a little amount of money. They would sit in their bank account instead of being used. So Open Hand was storing the money so they could make a bigger donation altogether. That is true. An amount like 30,000 would just sit in a bank because, frankly, it is not enough to fund either the research or help the people. But Open Hand did not have a small amount. Yes, when they started out, they had what could be called a small amount. But after 2 or 3 years, they amassed enough money that it would have made a difference. So telling the people that you could not find a single organization who would put the money to good use for 9 years is a little strange. Now, in no way am I saying that the completionist is using the money for himself or for his personal gain. It's all in the bank account of the charity. Taking it out would be reflected in the documents that are publicly available. It would be a criminal offense then. But what I am saying is that people donated their hard-earned money to the charity so that it would be of some use. But fortunately, he did donate the money finally. After all the backlash and the pressure, the completionist finally decided to donate the $600,000 to the AFTD. AFTD is a legit organization that is dedicated to the battle against dementia, and the news page of AFTD also reflects that. But it does seem like it's a little bit too late. The reputation of the charity and the completionist is already depleted. They could have made the donations years ago. There was no reason for them to hold on to it. What he said that the money was not enough was a valid argument, but after a few years of starting the charity, it amassed enough to donate that would actually make a difference. You can watch the latest video of Mudahar where he shows where the 600,000 that was donated would be used. I think there will be an audit made for this charity and the authorities will be involved. They would see what was going on with it. They might also find where the operational costs went. So until then, we might not know anything else. As the completionist made the donation, he might not add anything else to the situation. While doing this investigation, Carl also received a letter from the brother of Gerard, where he said that they donated body parts to organizations before the charity was made and also donated to many others. As this was before the charity was created, the information is not publicly available, so it cannot be verified. Also, donating before the charity was made does not make it so that you can justify keeping the money from the charity. Both are completely different things. So that letter I found a little weird. Anyway, this situation is a whole different level of crazy, and the job that Mudahar and Carl Jobs did was really amazing. I have linked their videos in the description and would highly suggest watching their videos as well to get the full knowledge, how they investigated the situation, what was the full conversation they had with the completionist and all that. It's a very interesting case and they did a good job in reporting it. Anyway, that was the full video of the drama relating to the Open Hand charity and the completionist. Charity where people can get taken advantage of because they want to make the world a better place. It is sad to see that happening more often now. What are your thoughts on this one? What do you think was the reason he kept the money for so long? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed, hit the like and subscribe button as it helps me out a lot. If you want, you can watch some of my other videos as well. See you in the next one.